What if I told you that you're spending 80% of your dating effort on women who have less than 5% interest in you? Stop being the guy who treats himself like a vending machine, constantly putting in effort, hoping for a treat. I spent years in that trap, suffering heartbreak because I had no options and chose out of pure desperation. That pain forced me to learn the biggest lesson in dating. When you don't have options, you choose poorly, and you suffer because of that. Today, I'm going to give you the exact framework I used to escape that cycle. There was a time in my life when I had no options. I was overweight, covered in acne, socially awkward, and completely invisible to women. And because I had no options, I did what most men unfortunately do. I settled for the wrong woman and paid the price for it. Those decisions cost me years of pain, heartbreak, and confusion, distracting me from work and destroying some of my lifelong friendships. But that experience forced me to understand something men rarely even talk about. When you don't have options, you choose poorly because you are starving. And when you choose poorly, you suffer not just in dating, but everywhere else as well. That pain pushed me to change my life completely. I lost over 100 pounds, rebuilt my confidence from the ground up, and eventually built a platform of over 37,000 readers to give men clarity on actually what matters most. So in this video, we are going to flip the script. I'm going to show you exactly how to vet for high interest, how to spot the subtle signs that she's actually into you, and how to stop wasting months of your life chasing women who were never really good prospects for commitment in the first place. It with more effort. We need to define what low interest actually looks like, because it's not always her telling you to get lost. Sometimes it's more subtle than that. Picture this scenario. You text her and it takes 6 hours to get a response. When she does reply, it's short. You ask her out and she says, I'm busy this week, maybe next week, but offers no specific alternative time. You feel like you're doing all the heavy lifting. You're chasing, she's responding. You're initiating, she's reacting. If you have to constantly perform to get her attention, you are treating yourself like a vending machine. You put in effort and sometimes you get a treat, but you are not a human being. You are a service. This is just low interest. Furthermore, if you are doing all the initiating and she offers short, delayed responses, you are communicating into an echo chamber, literally. You are the source of all the sound, and her replies are just weak reflections of your own effort. If you have to negotiate attraction at the beginning, you will be negotiating for respect your entire relationship. A woman who has low interest in you will never treat you like a priority. By trying to convince her, you are constantly disqualifying yourself. You are signaling that you don't believe you are worthy of respect. If it feels like work just to get a date, she's not the one. If you have to work hard to get her attention, she's not worthy of your commitment. So, if chasing is the wrong move, what does the right move actually look like? If you thought avoiding the bad ones was helpful, this next point is going to completely change how you view your future relationships. This brings us to the core philosophy of vetting. A woman's high interest level solves 80% of your future problems. When a woman is genuinely highly interested in you, you don't need perfect game or charisma. You don't need to wait exactly 45 minutes to text back. You don't need to worry about saying the wrong thing constantly. So, what does this actually look like in the wild? How do you actually spot it? When a woman is highly interested, the relationship feels like you are sailing with the wind. She is providing the momentum, the flow is easy, and you don't feel like you are paddling against the tide. Low interest, conversely, is like trying to drive a car with the parking brake still engaged. It's all friction and burning effort. So first, you have to look at the communication. A woman with high interest initiates text or call at least 30 to 40% of the time. She doesn't leave you hanging. She matches your investment without hesitation. If you plan a date, she's excited to be there, right? She is, as I always say, like a mirror because she is receptive. Secondly, you have to look for the nerves. This is a huge one because guys usually miss this completely. If she is cool, calm, and collected 100% of the time, she might just be bored or using you for attention. A woman who really likes you will be a little nervous or excited around you. She wants to impress you. Thirdly, she asks you personal questions. She wants to understand your world. She isn't just sitting there waiting to be entertained. She is actively trying to see if she fits into your life. She makes time for you rather consistently. There is no "I'm too busy," because people make time for what they want. When you find a woman with a high interest level, the relationship feels much easier. It just flows. You aren't consistently anxious by vetting for this specific type of trait, honest, enthusiastic interest. You filter out the gold diggers, the attention seekers, and the time wasters. You stop being a beggar and start actually choosing, which gives you more power ultimately, saves you a lot of time on just the wrong energy. Now, knowing the signs is great, but there is one specific test, a behavioral trait, that is the ultimate green flag. If she fails this, even her high interest might not be enough. The final piece of the puzzle is compliance. Now, don't get triggered by that word. I don't mean submissive in a weak way, I mean cooperative. You need to vet for a woman who is willing to follow your lead and work with you. So how do you test this? It's very simple. Suggest a change of plans. If you're picking her up at 7, text her and say, "Hey, let's make it at 7:45. I have to wrap something up." You are looking for a co-pilot, not a backseat driver. The co-pilot trusts your judgment on the road and adapts calmly to minor turbulence. The backseat driver, on the other hand, screams when you change lanes, questions every decision, and turns a simple delay into a whole crisis. If she fights you on a small change of time, she is signaling she sees you as an opponent, not a leader. A woman with high interest and a cooperative spirit will merely say, "No problem, I'll see you then." A woman with low interest or a difficult personality will create a problem out of it and maybe even get you to explain yourself. She'll complain or give you the silent treatment or even make you feel guilty for it. Another sign is in the little things. If you suggest a venue, does she go with the flow or does she always need to have it her way? You are looking for someone who trusts your judgment, because life just gets hard sometimes. Eventually, you're going to face real crises like financial issues, health problems, family drama. You need a woman who is going to stand by your side and cooperate to solve the problem, not a woman who fights you for control at every turn. This will result in a power struggle that just never ends. High interest combined with a cooperative attitude is the golden ticket for long-term peace of mind and stability.